save our economy. We'll rescue our middle class. We'll put America first, and we will make America great again. We're going to make America greater than ever before. We're going to bring back your car industry. We're not going to just keep it a little bit that you have left. You lost most of your industry. We're going to bring back your car industry. We're going to let them build plants, but they're not building them in Mexico. They're going to build them in the United States of America. And they're going to be fired up by our auto workers. And we're going to bring them back in numbers that nobody can believe, and I can do it so easily. We were all set to do it, and then we had the COVID disaster come in from, and we did a great job, never got the credit for it, the ventilators, the therapeutics that we did, the robes, the goggles, everything. But what China did was very bad, very bad. But we're going to bring it all back to this state. You're going to have the greatest state in the world for automaking. You're coming back with automaking because that's what you do and that's what you do best. And a lot of these people, even if it's just job-related, auto worker-related, this is what they want to do. And they want to be here. They don't want to have to move. But you're not going to have any place to move because other jobs are going to be gone, too. They're taking away all our jobs. We're not going to let it happen. We're going to make America great. We're going to make America the production capital, manufacturing capital of the world. And it's going to happen very fast. I hope you're going to go out and vote for me because, honestly, if you don't, our country is finished. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be back with the hardworking patriots of the great state of Michigan, a nice state. And I also want to thank Allro Steel CEO Randy Glick. Just met Randy, and he's fantastic. The job the family's done, he's done. It's beautiful. And all of the talented workers here at Allro Steel, I hope you're all happy. Are you happy with the company? I think, yes, huh? I think. Great company. And congratulations on 76 years of manufacturing in Michigan. And you had your best years 4 years ago, but you're going to have even better years coming up, I can tell you that. You're going to have even better. I'm here today with a simple message for the American auto worker and for the American worker. Your long economic nightmare will very soon be over. It's going to be over. Going to turn it around. With your vote, we will defeat Comrade Kamala Harris, and we will bring back the American dream, bigger, better, stronger, and just better, bigger, better. We love the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream. When was the last time you heard about the American dream? They don't talk about it, although they copy everything else I do, so I guess that'll be next. They'll be copying. They'll be saying, oh, the American dream. She doesn't know what the American dream is. Over the past 4 years, Kamala and crooked Joe Biden have presided over an economic reign of terror, committing one financial atrocity after another. As vice president, Kamala cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in American history. You're all victims of it. We all are. Everybody is a victim of it. It's a nation buster, costing the typical family $28,000. Under her policies, household wealth has plummeted by $33,000 per family. The cost of the typical monthly mortgage has really tripled, and you can't get the money. So, you know, you will go from 2% to 10%, but you can't get the money at 10%. I guess they want more than that, but you just can't get the money. Credit card debt has ballooned by 40%, and they have the highest numbers in history right now. As of about 3 days ago, the highest number in history. Now Kamala says she wants to talk about the future, but she's been there for 3.5 years. She only wants to talk about the future because the past has been so, the job they've done. Let me tell you, he's the worst president in the history of our country, and she's the worst vice president, and she's the worst border czar in the history of the world. And she's the one who gave us every single disaster that our country is facing right now. Look at Afghanistan. She said, I was the last person in the room. What a horrible, horrible event that was. Kamala's made middle-class life unaffordable and unlivable. and I'm going to make America affordable again. In addition to making it great again, we're going to make it affordable again, and that's going to be starting on day one. Isn't it amazing? They go 3 years, and now they say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The only good thing that she's done, flip-flopping. She's the greatest flip-flopper. Things that she never even thought of. She probably goes back to her room and gets sick to her stomach when she says what she has to say, because she's a Marxist, she's a fascist, and she never believed. I mean, now she's saying, oh, we want to build a strong border. Where has she been for 3.5 years as we took in 20 million people, many of them horrible criminals? My vision is for a middle class that is once again the envy of the entire world. It's going to happen. It's going to happen fast. Thank you. Workers like you and communities like this should be able to afford a nice house, a new car, and a growing family on a single income, all while enjoying the highest standard of living on earth, right? Thank you. Americans deserve safe streets, secure borders, great schools, healthy children, bustling factories, and a nation that is confident and a nation that is strong. That's the future that I intend to deliver, and I will deliver. And you had the best economy in the history of our country just a short while ago, and now you have what they call inflation, what that has done to this country. And frankly, they've done also worse, and you're going to end up in World War III with these people. I'll tell you what, we've never been so close to World War III. And, you know, with the power of weapons, I always say this isn't two army tanks running back and forth shooting at each other. The power of weapons today, very dangerous, very bad. We have people, do we have a president? He just got back from California. He was supposed to go to the White House. He never got there. He went to Delaware, and he's laying on a beach sleeping all day long. No, seriously, who the hell wants to sleep? And who wants to sleep in public? He's sleeping. Do you think President Xi of China is at a beach sleeping? Do you think Kim Jong-un is sleeping from North Korea with his nuclear weapons all over the place? They don't sleep so much. Now, we have a guy sleeping, and she's incompetent. She can't do an interview? It's been months. She can't. I just did an interview backstage. She was a very terrible person, but she was okay, actually. NBC fake news. It was NBC fake news. She asked me about all sorts of things. She asked me about abortion, and I handled it very nicely because, you know what, that's so overplayed. We have abortion. We have the whole thing brought back into the states where it belongs. That's where everybody wanted it for years and years and years, and they're voting on it. And I happen to believe in the exceptions Ronald Reagan did for life of the mother, rape, incest. The exceptions, probably 90% of the people do. But you know, I was just telling this reporter, the real problem and the real radicals on that issue are the Democrats, where you can have an abortion in the 9th month, and in 6 states, you're allowed to kill the baby after the baby is born. And you know, one of those states is Minnesota, where this tampon Tim comes from. Kill the baby after the baby's born. So that's no longer abortion. That's called execution, right? You're allowed to execute the baby after the baby. They're the radical. Kamala is promising communist-style price controls, free taxpayer-funded health care. Not that you're going to want. Nobody in this room is going to want it. For all illegal aliens, mass amnesty and citizenship for the millions and millions of migrants she lets in. She wants to give citizenship to people that have come here illegally. They didn't come through the system. You know, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come in legally, right? They have to come in legally. We're taking people that are murderers and drug dealers, and she wants to give them amnesty. I tell you, I don't get it. But all of this will destroy Medicare and will destroy your Social Security. She called for the abolition of ICE. You know, ICE? These are great patriots. These are tough people. I'm looking at some of these people right in the front row. They're tough as hell, but you don't want to be an ICE. You don't want to walk into MS-13 gangs and start slugging it out. These guys are seriously tough, and they love our country. You know, somebody's got to do it. I took them out by the thousands. Now they don't want to take them out anymore. They want to let ICE, the worst gang probably in the world, the meanest, the nastiest. They slice up people with knives. They'd rather use a knife than a gun because it's more painful. They killed 2 young students walking to school, 2 beautiful young 16-year-old girls walking to school. They sliced them up in Long Island. And they want to let these people stay, and we're not going to let them stay. We want to give them that trade. Kamala sponsored a bill to blow up the entire U.S. healthcare system and force every American into a socialist government-run program with rationing and deadly wait times. You go there and they say, that's good, we're going to be all set for you. Come back in 3 months. She endorsed a 70 to 80% tax rate increase. Look at this. She thinks the rate, actually the rate could be as much as 80%. She says, I'll think about that. Well, I won't think about it. Okay, I won't think about anywhere near it. In fact, we're going for a tax cut. You know, we gave you the biggest tax cut in history, and that gave us tremendous numbers of jobs. And we actually took in more income the following year after the cut because our country was booming like it had never boomed before. She supports abolishing cash bail so that when you murder somebody, oh, don't worry about it. You're free to go. No cash, no nothing. And then they go murder somebody else, and in some cases, much more than one person. And she endorsed the Marxist crusade to defund the police. Do you know that she was the leader of the defund the police? Does anybody in Michigan, I said, why don't I just walk up? I don't have to waste a lot of time. You're all fans, right? Is anybody here not going to vote for Trump? I'm just kidding. Raise your hand if you have the courage to do that. I think pretty good. No, but, you know, I said, why do I have to make a speech? All I have to do is say, she was the leader of the defund the police movement. And then I say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and leave. Because when you hear that, no, she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist. He's a Marxist professor. It's very nice. This election is not a choice between Democrats and Republicans. It's a choice between communism and freedom. That's what it's about. And nobody really knows her. They were doing something, the man on the street, they said, you know Harris? Everyone's saying, who the hell is Harris? Nobody knows who Harris is. What's the vice president's name? They have no idea what the name is. Now, the name Kamala it's a little complex because about 19 different ways of pronouncing it, right? But Kamala is, at least it's a name you sort of remember. You can't use Harris because nobody knows who the hell Harris is. Who's Harris? We want somebody they know, and, you know, one of the reasons they don't know, she did a lousy job. She was considered the worst vice president in history. I don't know who does this stuff, but she was considered the worst. Kamala will turn America into a third world country. Will happen. It's already getting there. I hate to tell you. When you look at our borders, when you look at our elections, our rigged elections, when you look at all the crap that's going on, we're turning into a third. When you look at how they go weaponize against me for doing absolutely nothing wrong, I got indicted, I think, 9 different times. 9 times. I never even knew what an indictment was for my whole life. All of a sudden, the last year, I think I had 9 indictments, far more than Alphonse Capone, who was quite well known in Chicago and the environs. He liked killing people. But he had nothing like me. 9 times, you know? And every time they see me going up in the polls, and we're leading in the polls, and I think we're leading by a lot. You know, the polls are rigged, too. The polls are rigged, too. You know, they say Donald Trump is tied. You know, we were up massively by Biden. How would you like to be me? I spent $100 million on beating Biden. We had a debate, and everybody said, this guy's shot. They never give me credit. They say he was shot. Maybe I did a good job. Somebody said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever said. And then you know what? That I've ever seen. Said, it was a CNN person. Said, this is the single greatest debate performance I've ever seen. 2 days later, they forgot about that. They said he was terrible. You know, but that's all right. Whatever it takes. But, you know, I spent $100 million on fighting him. We weren't fighting anyone else. We weren't fighting a vice president. We didn't even know who the hell she was. And then all of a sudden they say, Joe, you're losing badly. You got to get out. He was losing by a lot. But they went up to him. They said, get out. That's like you're in a fight and you have a fighter and he's doing great, and they say, listen, we're going to take the opponent out. We're going to throw another guy in to finish it off. That's what they did, really. It's never been done before. And, you know, she was last online, and she came in last. I think there were like 22 people. She was the first one to get out, and she got out. She had no votes. She had no votes. She was supposed to go to Iowa. She quit before Iowa. That was the first state. She never made it to Iowa. And now she's running. And what about those other 20 or so people? They did much better than her, and they're saying they're sitting home watching television. But, you know, they're having a big discussion now because they don't understand why she refuses to sit down for just an interview. And they've got a lot of friendly. You know, it's much easier being a Democrat because you see all the fake news back there. If you're a Democrat, they say he just gave the greatest speech that we've ever heard. Not since FDR has there been a speech. I saw this with Biden. He made a State of the Union address. It was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. I saw her make a speech. It was so bad. And after they get off, this was one of the greatest performances we've ever seen in our country. With me, I make a speech. I speak for 2 hours. Everybody loves it. I got thousands of people, by the way, outside trying to get in. They never said Trump's a great speaker. I don't even want that, but I must be a great speaker, right? I must. We got thousands of people. No, we got thousands and thousands. Boy, if I were a Democrat, they'd say, he's the greatest that ever lived. He made Abraham Lincoln look like nothing. But no, I don't care about that. I care about winning for our country. I care about making America great again, and that's what we're going to do. So we're pleased to be joined today by some really great winners, champions, patriots, and one of them is Lisa McClain, Congresswoman. Where's Lisa? Hi, Lisa. You are doing amazing. I'll tell you, don't be fooled by her. She's a very nice person, but she's brutal when it comes to your state, when it comes to jobs, right, Lisa? And she's proud of it, too. Yep, she is. Thank you. Great job. And another man that I picked out of a large group, I said, this guy's got what it takes. He's a highly respected person. He's running for the U.S. Senate, and I think he's going to win. I just saw a poll where he's leading by a little bit. It's not an easy race. It's not an easy race, but the other one is going to be just a disaster. She's going to vote everything that whoever it would be, except me, they won't, but hopefully we're not going to need it. But she's a disaster. Mike Rogers is one of the most respected people in Washington, and he will be, I believe, your next senator. Great Mike. He is actually one of the most respected people in Washington, and he came out of a large group of Republicans that all wanted the same job, and he really did. He ran a great race, won easily. He had my endorsement, that helped, but he did. He won easily, and he's got great gravitas. Your next congressman, and you're going to have a great congressman who I think is going to win, Tom Barrett. Tom. Thank you, Tom. Great job. I heard you're doing well, Tom. Good. Running against somebody that's not good. Not good for your state, not good for our country. Michigan House Republican leader Matt Hall. Are we going to win, Matt? He gave me a good summary. He said, you're going to win, sir. You know, they have these fake polls. They're almost as bad as the fake writers, the fake news. We interviewed 49 Democrats for a poll. We interviewed 49 Democrats and 21 Republicans. You know, it's a little thing on the bottom. I'm surprised they even put it. They probably must be a law. But they put it 49 Democrats and 21 Republicans. And the race is tied. They said, tied? How the hell can it be tied? So tied means I'm leading by like 14 or 15 points. I don't know. But it's fake news. It's as bad. It's as bad as they are with a pen, I'm telling you. It's really bad. They can make those polls sing. They can make them do whatever they want. Michigan Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt. Eric, thank you. Great job. What a beautiful young daughter. What a beautiful young daughter. Great. Thanks, Eric. Thanks very much. We also have some people of great distinction. Justice David Viviano is here with us. David, thank you, David. Highly respected Justice. Thank you, David. Judge Patrick O'Grady. Patrick is here someplace. Where's Patrick? Another one, highly respected. So whatever you're doing, keep it going. Good. And Tudor Dixon, who really ran a good race. Where is Tudor? Well, hi, Tudor. She's a great person. Loves this state and loves the workers. I knew her father. Her father was in the steel business. Successful guy. I knew him as he was leaving our planet, right? Leaving. He was very sick and leaving, but he loved his daughter. He was so proud of you. So he's up there watching. Thank you very much, Tudor. Appreciate it. And Brian Pannebecker, who's like a friend of mine. This guy, where is he? Where's Brian? Where is he? Do you want to come up? Come on up here, Brian. This guy, he thinks the United Auto Workers have the worst leader and that they're crazy. They're going to be driven out of business. All the business is going to China. Within 2-3 years, you're not going to have auto workers in this. If they vote for Trump, we're going to bring in factories at levels that you've never seen before. We're going to get the auto workers' jobs back like it was 30 years ago and 40 years ago before everybody left. We're going to get it back at levels that you've never seen. Brian, say hello, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And the last time you called me up on stage in Grand Rapids, it was the first rally that you'd held since the assassination attempt. And honestly, I was speechless. But tonight, I want to say a couple things real briefly. I represent the Auto Workers for Trump organization, which was a Facebook group. I started that group. Thank you. There's some auto workers here, I'm sure. Lansing got a lot of them. But unfortunately, a lot of them have lost their jobs. Listen, Chrysler and General Motors have already gone bankrupt once. But if we allow electric vehicle mandates to be put on this industry by the federal government, they're going out of business again. We got to fight against that. And this guy standing right here is the only person who will do it. We cannot allow the federal government to put mandates on the auto industry to build electric vehicles when the consumers do not want them. So I'm asking everybody, I'm asking auto workers, and I'm asking everybody that supplies the auto industry, get 10 or 15 of your friends, make sure they get out and vote. Our very survival depends on it, and we can't allow it to happen. So vote Trump and J.D. Vance, and we'll turn this country around. He's done it once. Unfortunately, he's going to have to go back and do it again. Thank you.
You know, as he's speaking, look at the arms of this guy.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Look at that.
Cut it out.
Well, let me see. He's really great and a real patriot, and it's true. You know, they're building, I don't know if you know, numerous of the biggest auto plants in the world right now.
In Mexico.
Right near the border in Mexico, owned by China. They think they're going to build the cars and send them in, and with this administration, they won't even know what's happening. They'll take every single job. You're not going to have any auto workers within 2 years, maybe 3 years. Nobody's going to be making cars here. I told them, if you do that, we're going to put tariffs on at 200, 250%. You're never going to sell one car in this country. And they didn't build them. And then as soon as I left, because of a bad situation that happened, because we did great in this state too.
Yeah, you won it.
But a bad situation that happened, corrupt, bad situation. You have to keep your eyes open this time.
Yep.
But, you know, they use COVID to cheat. Very simple. They use COVID to cheat. But I told them, I said, you do it, you're not going to sell any cars. As soon as I was gone, they started construction, and they're almost finished, and that's going to wipe you out. They're the biggest plants anywhere in the world. A friend of mine builds plants, and I think he's building these. I said, I want to see some big plants. I want to go and tour some of the big auto plants. That's all he does. Honestly, he's a great guy. Can't walk across the street. He can build a plant like nobody. He said, sir, you're going to have to come to Mexico. I said, no, I want to see one in the United States. He said, the big ones are being built in Mexico. That's no good. And we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to, they can build their plant. They're not going to have any cars coming into this country. If they want to build a plant, they can. They're going to build it in Michigan or at least someplace in our country. Thank you.
The UAW members realize this now, and I'm doing a rally at a different auto plant every week. I started in June. We're going to go all the way to November. And we're talking to the auto workers as they come off their shift and go into work. And 70 or 80% of them are voting for Donald Trump because they know their jobs depend on it. Thank you, sir.
Wow. That guy's, he's a dynamic guy, isn't he, huh? No, it's really, look, I didn't know Brian. He just knows that, you know, we had 4 great years. But I got an award years ago in Michigan. I got Man of the Year a long time ago. In fact, the fake news said, I never got it, I never got it. I made it up. I didn't make it up. And then they found out I actually did get it. I was lucky. They found out who it was. It was like a Chamber of Commerce someplace. And I gave a whole speech. This was probably 15 years ago, 17 years ago. I gave a speech on why are you letting them steal your auto manufacturing business? And it only got worse and worse and worse. Then I stopped it. And then as soon as I was gone, they let it happen. And these plants that are being built all around the world are going to take all of your business. And I'm a big fan of electric cars, but they're limited. They don't go far. They're very expensive. And they're going to all be made in China because they have the material. But we have more liquid gold under our feet than anybody else. It's called gasoline for what we talk about. And we want to build gasoline-propelled cars, but we also want to build hybrids, and we want to build electric cars. You know, Elon Musk, I think he's great, and he endorsed me very strongly. I said, listen, you know, I'm all for electric cars, but not all of them, because they really don't go far yet, but they're incredible. The job he's done and the job that others have done are great, and it's called a market. You have to be able to buy what you want to buy. There'll be another form of car. They talk about hydrogen now. They talk about all sorts of things. But it's called a market. But we can't do that. They want to put, and like immediately, all electric cars. But we don't have enough electricity to supply ourselves right now. You go out to California, which was destroyed by Kamala. Destroyed. She destroyed the city of San Francisco. And I own a big building there. I shouldn't talk about this, but that's okay. I don't give a damn because this is what I'm doing. I should say it's the finest city in the world. Sell and get the hell out of there, right? But I can't do that. I don't care, you know. I lost billions of dollars. You know, somebody said, what do you think he lost? I said, probably 2-3 billion. That's okay. I don't care. They said, do you think you'd do it again? And that's the least of it. Nobody. They always say that, I don't know if you know, Lincoln was horribly treated. Jefferson was pretty horribly. Andrew Jackson, they say, was the worst of all, that he was treated worse than any other president. And I said, do that study again, because I think there's nobody close to Trump. I even got shot. And who the hell knows where that came from, right? No, these are bad people. They're sick people. You know, we have people on the outside, the countries, but if you have a smart president, the countries will be an asset, not a liability. That includes China. That includes Russia. If you have a smart president, but we don't have a smart president right now, by the way, you're going to end up in World War III. This period of time better happen fast because we have nobody running our country. We have nobody at the Resolute desk. There's nobody, the two of them. She's no good, and he's sleeping. In fact, I'm going to go back to the name for him, Sleepy Joe, instead of Crooked Joe. Did you see they found last week, Brian, he took $28 million. They say he stole his family, took $28 million, and nothing happened. That was the night he made his brilliant speech, which was all about Trump. You know, everything they do, they talk about Trump. They talk about Trump, I think, 347 times. They talked about the border once. They talked about crime twice. They talked about